Herstory Sneakers Podcast, where we're showcasing some of the waviest females in the sneaker industry, community, and all things related. Today we have the 2021 up-and-coming female sneaker design winner by Global Footwear Awards and Sneakers by Women, Gloria Rose.
Hello, everyone.
For those that don't know, Gloria is actually a sneaker designer. Obviously, she won the award. But she actually released her own shoe in collaboration with Clints. So we will start the story from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you did an application process or whatever
Yeah,
the process
just,
was for that. So do you just want to go through that because you did end up winning it and releasing your own Cozy Days?
Yep. So, I remember it was during pretty much the height of COVID. I remember I was just doing my online school because everything was closed and just at home. And I saw this post actually by, I think it was Shaquille Keefe, you probably know.
Yep.
From PAQ, when they used to have PAQ. And that's why I actually saw that the first time. And I was like, oh, sounds interesting. I wasn't too confident at first. I was like, oh, I mean, I have like no experience in anything. But then I was like, I have nothing to lose. So why not?
Yeah.
And I actually submitted 3 different designs. I remember I texted Clint on Instagram. I was like, can I submit more designs? I have too many ideas. It was like, yeah, that's fine. So I submitted 3, and it ended up being the Cozy Day that got chosen. And it was quite a shock.
Yeah.
I did not expect it, to be honest. I just saw the text. I was like, oh, really?
Are you sure?
Is that a mistake or?
Is there another Gloria you're supposed to send this to?
Yeah, this is probably not the Gloria. I don't know. But yeah, it was shocking because then I remember we had our first call. He was congratulating me. He was saying, yeah, it was really good, and it's impressive because there was some actual designers for brands that actually submitted also. And then it's just me, a little 17-year-old at the time, that got chosen. I was pretty proud.
Yeah, you should be.
My mom was crying as always on the phone. She was like, "Oh my god!"
No.
But yeah, it was a very good memory.
Yeah, no, amazing. So what was a little bit of the inspiration then behind the shoe? I know that you have a track background, so you did end up releasing some tracksuits, which a lot of people do forget that tracksuits came from
track and field. Yes,
from track and field. So do you just want to talk us through kind of your inspirations behind the shoe, and was there any ideas that you had that maybe didn't make it?
So the main idea was just to create something, a mix between a relaxed casual shoe and mix it with the sole of the original trail silhouettes from Clints. That's like really outdoor and more, not really sporty, but it's like kind of inspired by like hiking shoes and has nice grips. I wanted to mix this outdoor and adventurous side with a chill one, I guess, and something that you could definitely wear with a tracksuit because it does go well with a tracksuit. So I guess kind of like the athlete's day off shoe or something, you know, like a cozy day after training hard or a long week. Is just the cozy day, and you have the cozy shoes with them. So pretty much that, yeah.
Yeah, and then what about the colors that are on it? What was your inspiration for that? I'll put a picture on screen for the visual.
The colors, well, I remember it was around June I did that, so it was starting to get really sunny, and I just wanted to do something a bit summery because all my designs that I do, I realized were not really bright colors all the time, and so I was like, oh, I try something new, and I also wanted it to be colors that appeal to everyone, so like both every gender could like feel how do you say this?
Like that they could wear it.
Yeah, that they could. Yeah, I feel like they could wear them. Yeah, exactly. And it worked out pretty well because a lot of men bought it, a lot of women, everyone. Yeah, so it was really mixed. consumers that ended up buying it. So I was pretty pleased with the result of that.
Yeah, 100%. I think that when you can make something, especially as a woman, that men like, although it's not that their validation's important, it's just, it again just reaffirms the fact that women can design for men. Like, we don't just have to stick to our bracket of only designing for women.
Yeah, and actually most of the messages that I received of encouragement, so like congratulating me, were a lot of men, most of all actually. So that was, it's, I guess, a good step in the right direction.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
A lot of support. Yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah, great. I know that you mentioned, because you did release a video about kind of your journey in the process and the shoe, and I know at the start of it you mentioned that there was not necessarily people that you can look to in the sneaker designer industry where you necessarily, like, they look like you or you can relate to them.
Yeah.
Do you mind just touching on that a bit, and you know what the issues are and what you hope to, with your own career or with the next generation of stuff, what you're hoping to see and achieve?
Yeah, so my goal is definitely to I mean, I will see my personal goals, but then the big picture will be to show that no matter your background or what you look like or identify as, you can make it, really. Because I feel like, personally, I've had a very positive experience so far in general in the industry, and I think that it could be inspiring for others to see that it doesn't have to be miserable or hard or get rejected or stuff like that. I feel like it could give a bit of hope to finally see someone who's on paper probably like a big minority, but actually could succeed and have a lot of support around them. I feel like it's refreshing to see also, because sometimes when you see all the stories of people struggling, is a bit, you'd be like, oh, why even bother, really?
Yeah.
So to see someone actually maybe having a positive experience for once, I think is also really important.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely.
I really hope it will keep going like this, and just, I guess, be my own representation, really.
Do you want to talk a bit more about your background, just for the audio listeners?
Yeah.
Kind of when you talk about representation, so what is your background? Where did you come from?
My background, I usually say I'm born in a town called Biarritz in France, because it's a bit more popular, but really I'm born in the middle of nowhere, in a little village of like 1,000, even less people, in the middle of France, really, like proper village.
What's it called?
It's called,
there is someone that's living there and they're like, what?
It's called Marmande.
Oh, I know where that is.
You know Marmande?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, because I went to study in so you might find this funny because you might actually know where it is. So I went on an exchange and they told us we were going to be staying in Paris, but I actually lived in Cergy-Pontoise.
Okay.
Which is not Paris.
No. You've been like to.
I mean, we can get the RAR and then we can go to Paris.
Yeah.
But so from staying there, I met people that were from different areas.
Okay.
So that's why I know where it is. Also, I can speak a bit of French, but I was like, I'm not going to try that on the podcast.
Oh, why not?
Because your French accent puts mine to shame.
Oh no.
I have I speak very British French.
It's a good start. I mean, I still have. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. No, I still have a bit of a French accent from time to time.
I love your accent.
Thank you. But I know it can be scary because French people are known to be a bit very rude when someone has a bad pronunciation. We'll be like, no, that's not how you say it.
Well, actually, I found that as long as you try and speak French, that actually they're quite forgiving.
Really?
I
don't know really patient. Some I met are not patient, really. When you go to restaurants, sometimes I see tourists and they're like struggling, and you can see the service being like, oh, typical French.
French people don't take any shit. They're so like, but I like them for that. Like I do like not when they're rude, but like I said, we
don't get pushed around. That's true. We love a good riot when something is not going
and they'll
wrong.
strike. Yeah, like they will fight for their rights. No, I have a lot of love for the French. But sorry, I cut in your story. So you're from Marmande?
From Marmont, I moved to Biarritz when I was 3 around. That's why I just say I'm from there, because it's a bit cooler to say I'm from there also. It's a little seaside town, so just grew up with my mom. Also had my brother who usually lives abroad. He was in Ireland most of the time when I was little.
And what's your ethnicity?
So my mom is from Gabon, and she's half from Gabon, half from Benin. My dad is from Benin. But I have a lot of sort of Congolese roots. Like pretty much my whole Gabonese side is pretty much Congolese. So now I don't know where to say I'm from, really. Because my whole life I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from Gabon, but like my DNA test.
But I'm also from here.
My DNA test is saying otherwise. So,
I think everyone's DNA tests say a lot, to be honest.
So yeah, my mom moved to France when she was younger, with my brother. So I'm the only one in my family born in Europe, really.
Okay.
So yeah, my brother is 18 years older than me. So grew up with my mom. Then there was me. He moved abroad, so it was just me and my mom really most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to Biarritz. It's a little, really posh little town where just rich white people go in summer with their secondary houses.
Okay.
And yeah, so I grew up in not exactly the most diverse city or environment, because my mom put me in a private school early on for some reason. I don't know. I had friends in public school, but she was like, no, private. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really have a choice, but it was a Catholic school also.
Okay.
So a very like white Catholic little school. But somehow I still have like a really great time.
Okay, that's good.
Like I didn't, like a lot of people will expect when this environment, like
I was thinking,
like,
okay,
whoa.
you know what you're telling me.
Like I was usually the only black kid in the class and everything, but I was the teacher's favorite. I had a lot of friends, male friends, most of the time, and to a lot of people's surprise, I actually had a really good time.
That's awesome.
Like I wouldn't change it a bit, really. And
so you didn't feel like you didn't, like you.
Not even. I never felt like I didn't belong. Actually, it's just maybe because I met those kids when we were like 6, really small. You know, at this time, you're not conditioned yet to see people different.
100%.
You know, so
and when that's your norm, you're not as conscious of it. Like, because I grew up in Newcastle, and actually it was after I came back from living in Sergi, and because it was Brexit at the same time.
Oh yeah.
When I got back to England, and I was in Newcastle, and I was like walking down maybe in the town centre, and I was like, I'm the only person of colour like on this road. That's when it became more apparent, because I was like, now I'm obviously going from Paris, well, fake Paris.
Fake Paris.
Going from Paris, which is so diverse. And I can imagine that although that small area was maybe more white upper class, other parts of France are probably were diverse as well, so it's not too kind of visible. But yeah, that's good that you didn't feel like conscious of it.
No, I was so small. At this age, you don't really realize stuff. It's now that I'm older and that I'm like, oh wow, I'm the only black person here. Oh, that's when you start realizing or something.
Yeah, because unfortunately, it's like you've had to kind of learn that.
Yeah, so it's like almost as I'm used to usually. Like for example, I could walk into a room with only white people, and because I was so used to it my whole life, it won't even shock me.
Yeah.
But then when I think about it, like, oh, why is that?
And then you're like, should I be bothered?
Yeah.
But then you almost don't want to be, because it's gonna ruin your ruin your life.
Really, yeah. I just like, oh well, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely refreshing when then you go somewhere with more people that looks like you.
So when did you come to the UK?
Almost a year and a half now.
Okay. Did you come just to study?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to tell the people what you study?
Yeah, I do footwear design at London College of Fashion. So I'm on my first year right now. Did a foundation last year, TSM. A bit of waste of time, but we moved. Just I did not do anything related to footwear that year, and I was
Oh, really?
yeah, because my pathway was called jewelry, footwear, and accessories.
Yeah.
We only did jewelry.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I was like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But
That's a shame.
it's
Did
fine.
you make like what is the positive that you would take from that experience?
We just learned a lot about like researching and I guess sketching ideas.
Okay.
And met some friends, so that's nice. Meeting a lot of people. But yeah, then they clearly had a little preference for jewelry.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So what kind of made you want to do what you do then? What kind of where did you get your passion and your kind of interest in footwear design? Because obviously a lot of people love sneakers, a lot of people love footwear, whether it's heels or
but they don't think about designing
shoes or sliders. Like, but where does the design element of that come in? Like, what attracted you?
So I think
that side?
Growing up, I was mindful of my shoes. Like I wouldn't say I was a sneakerhead when I was a kid or had the latest sneakers, but when I would buy, I would be really conscious about what shoes I would want my mom to buy at that time, obviously, and we'll take like really good care of them and like maybe draw on them sometimes.
Oh, awesome.
And it was really in high school when I was at that time I was living in Los Angeles for a bit. And
okay. She just briefly popped into there. Cool.
And so I went to school where a lot of kids had the latest sneakers and stuff. And there was a period when I tried to I think I wanted to fit it a bit.
Yeah. How old were you when you were in LA?
From 13 to 16.
Awesome. That's like such a good age to just be there.
It was okay, actually.
Yeah, just okay.
My school wasn't the best. If I was, I was I was in a French school, and it was okay. A weird atmosphere, really weird atmosphere. I wish I went to public school. I think I would have had a good time there. But
yeah, sneaker culture would have been way different.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it was some kids had like the latest Yeezys, the latest Jordans, and I felt like, oh wow, that's cool. I kind of want to do that. But then that's when I first got familiarized to the cost of sneakers. And when I googled those shoes, I was like, oh,
maybe I don't want them.
And then I showed the Yeezys to my mom. She was like, that looks like a tire. I will never buy you this. And I was like, fair. Yeah. And that I didn't actually like Yeezys. You know, that I think about it, it's not my style. But there was a time when I was quite influential, I guess. And so I felt like I wanted them, but deep down, and I'm like, why would I ever wear this? My legs are too skinny for them anyway. It's so bulky.
Yeah. So everyone used to say that the space boots whenever I started wearing Yeezys, but I'm the same now. It's like there's some silhouettes of them that I really like the 500s, but then there's some that like 350s I don't really like, and I'm perfectly all right with being like, there's some
I think there's only one silhouette that I like. I forgot which one it was, but the rest I'm struggling to get used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it came from high school. I was like, okay, well, I can put $600 into this pair of shoe. Let me customize my own shoe to have my own exclusive thingy, you know?
Sick.
So I think my first custom was a pair of NMDs. Because they were quite big at the time, around 2016.
Yeah, NMDs had a huge, huge moment.
And so, I remember I had that pair that I wore a lot that I really liked, but then it was a bit worn. I was like, oh, I'm going to give it a second life. So I painted it. I took the laces out, cut out there was a little, my silhouette was the NMD XR something.
Okay.
So it wasn't exactly like the NMD. Mm-hmm. It was the same silhouette, but there was like an actual kind of tab to put the laces through.
Oh yeah, like when it
on the little panel, yeah. And so I cut this out, made some holes, relaced them, painted the sole also, and people were impressed. They were like, "What are those shoes?" One was kind of a bit of a hater. It was like, "They look like human races. You have fake human races." He was saying about my back. So I just went to him. I was like, "Those are not human races. Those are custom, okay?"
Those are Gloria Rose, actually.
Next time, come to my face and say it.
Yeah.
He never did it again. So.
Good. And now look, you have your own shoe. So.
Oh yeah, I wonder what he thinks now. He must be like, "Oh,
you should message whoever it is.
Look where I am now."
Yeah. Look where I'm at.
What about those fake human races now? Look where they got me.
Yeah, literally. But it's really funny when people hate, because it's usually like if it was somebody else, like if it was someone that was, I don't know, say if it was Kanye West, everyone would be like, "Oh my god, genius." But it's like, because it's like just an individual.
Yeah.
On people, yeah, they love to hate.
Yep. No.
But where did you teach yourself in order to be able to paint? Like, did you look it up online or something, or did you just
YouTube? Everything, literally everything that I learned about footwear was pretty much YouTube's and books. So, when I was in my customization phase, I looked at a lot of videos on what paint to use, the injetless direct products and the techniques. Then once I was getting more and more into customizing my shoes, I was like, I think that's not enough anymore. I want to do something from scratch. Okay. Like, I want to create actually something. So that's when I started sketching. So I went on YouTube, how to sketch shoes from different angles. And then I was like, okay, that's not enough now. Now I want to add colors and stuff. So now I Googled how to render shoes on Photoshop and Illustrator. There was like a whole video series that I watched and did it step by step, looking, and then it was really hard at first, but then with practice, you just get better and better. And now I've reached the point where it's not enough. So now I'm learning how to 3D model shoes on software like Blender and stuff.
Sick.
So yeah, and then I just there's a series of books from it's called the Sneaker Factory, I think.
Okay.
And they have those books, how shoes are made, how to create your own brand, how materials for footwear design. And I just read all those books to just educate myself. And that was even before I even applied to uni, really. And so that was still in high school of this. And so then I was like, yeah, I think I really want to do this. Because at first I wanted to do finance.
Okay.
Like my brother, and wanted to be a trader at one point. And then I was like, Mom, I think I want to design shoes. And she's like, okay, if it makes you happy, go ahead. And so I looked for schools. There weren't so many in the US, and the US tuitions. I don't want to be in that my whole life, so no, thank you. And so I was like, well, let's see Europe again. Not in France. Not that I want to live in France anyway. There was some in Italy, but it was a bit expensive. And then it was in Florence. And then the other option was here in London. And I felt like I wanted to be in a vibrant city for the moment since I'm still young. So I chose London to go to LCF. I was scared into doing the foundation, but it was free, so it's not a waste of money anyway. But like UL, they really like, you have to do the foundation to be accepted into the BA and stuff. So I did the foundation, I applied to that, got rejected at first. And then they sent me an email, there's been someone cancelled. Do you want to come in? I was like, okay, fine. And turns out that my score, you had to achieve a score of 72%, I think. And my score was 71.3 or something. Yeah. And so when I received the email, at first I was like, oh yeah, I knew it. My portfolio is not good. But no, it was like a few.
Yeah, like tiny.
Yeah, like tiny percentage off.
Yeah.
So that's what they then give me the...
Yeah, because if they rounded it up, it would have been 72.
Yeah, they gave me the place. So I did 1 year foundation. That time, that was when we were also working on the whole campaign and production of the Cozy Days.
So you actually designed a shoe before you even started uni.
That's pretty much.
That's so sick.
Pretty
Honestly,
much,
that's amazing. Like, imagine you must like. Do you tell your like? Did you meet people on the course? I'm like, yeah, I've already designed my own shoes, and they must be like, what? Why are you here?
And yep, so I do get that a lot sometimes. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
talk about it too much.
yeah, no, I don't know. It makes me cringe when I talk about my own achievements for some
No.
reason, and people are like, "Oh, that's so cool! You did that." So I'm like, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about something else now?
No, you talk about it forever. I understand because obviously people do say the same thing to me about my Nike shoe and stuff, but I don't know, especially because you're so young, like, and it's just purely been off like self-taught knowledge. And obviously yours is a lot more hands-on, like you're a lot more in the back end, and the initiative obviously it's aimed at BAME people. Like, yeah, you should definitely shout from the rooftops about it. Like, it's such a cool achievement. And it's just such a great thing that you can now, it's part of your portfolio, like, and when you're going forward, because I'm guessing that this is something that you want to do. Like, I assume you would like your own brand at some point.
It's something I'm working on.
Yeah, so it's like now when you go and have conversations with people, it's like it's probably maybe not the first thing you talk about because you don't want to mention it, but at some point you have to, in order to show them what you are capable of, it's now you can actually present them something like a physical idea that's actually been released to the public instead of perhaps just like a sample idea that somebody would have and maybe get like market research on it. Like, you've actually got feedback from people that have put their money towards it.
That's
true. It's dope.
Yeah, my mom certainly does the shouting on the rooftop for me.
That's what mums are for.
Yep, she does
make
it
you
for
a
me.
WhatsApp picture and tell everybody.
Honestly, so many people. She's still in Paris. Every time she meets someone, she's like, she just loves talking about me and my brother. She's like a very proud mom.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She's like, yeah, my brother is in. My son is in the US. My daughter, she's a footwear designer. She makes her own shoes. And every time I'm like, okay, mom, you just met that person.
So you just started your you've just started your actual first year.
Yep.
So how have you found it? Like, what type of things have you been doing if somebody was interested in doing the course? Like, what
so the course is very hands-on. We're learning a lot of actually how to make shoes. So the last module, I made a pair of heels.
I'll put a picture up. I saw it on your Instagram.
So that was fun. It's it really meets my expectation of a footwear course. Like, you actually learn how to make shoes. We learn how to make the patterns, the sewing, the machines, how to make the heels, everything. So it's great. It's a really good course if you want to learn how to make shoes. And we learn about spec sheets and design process, and it's very complete. Like, I think I learned a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like I came with like quite a lot of knowledge already, I'm really happy that I'm still learning a lot of stuff from there. So I think it's really good.
Because I find like with creative stuff at uni, sometimes it's either gonna make you really want to. Well, it can either be very helpful to what you want to do, or it can just be kind of like a waste of time. Like, I could have learned this from YouTube type of thing. So yeah, it's cool that you still feel like it's a valuable experience. Even though you've obviously done a lot of research on the back end. What's one standout thing that you've learned so far?
One standout thing. I don't know. I think for me was the importance of the spec sheets.
Okay.
That is something that I've never done before, first of all, and never really researched that much because there's not that many examples on the internet. So
what is a spec sheet? Sorry.
So it's when you want to make a sample for the factory. You have this sheet with all the components of the shoe and measurements, and you have to make it really accurate to help the factory make a very accurate sample. So like, it saves you time. If your spec sheet is not well done, the factory doesn't have enough
Just not the right information.
clue, yeah, and then the sample's not good, and then you have to do it again, and it's a lot of money and time. So that's something I thought was really valuable information, especially since now I'm looking into create my own brand and gathering information. That is something that I actually didn't think of before. And just, I think development information will be the research process, how to get inspiration. Because a lot of time before, I would just do stuff from the top of my head. I never really had like a shoe, not many shoes inspired by like a topic or something.
Yeah.
Besides the Cozy Day was just more inspired by me. Other than that, my sketches would just be my intuition or just stuff that I just pull out of my brain, really. But now I'm learning how to look around me, pretty much. Look at my environment. And I guess get inspired from this. And it does help a lot.
Yeah, makes it kind of more of a cohesive like storytelling, I guess.
And also, storytelling, for sure. And the importance of the portfolio, how to present it. I had some tips from other shoe designers also on portfolios.
So what would you like to share them, just for anyone listening?
So I remember I emailed a portfolio to a designer called Solène Roux. She's a French designer, footwear designer. And she gave me some really good tips. My portfolio about like putting my research, really communicate how I go from one idea to like the whole process, really, because otherwise it's really fragmented. People are like, how do you get to this? How do you get that idea, that detail? Where does it come from? And she told me all about this, how the storytelling. That was
like making it more of a journey.
Yeah, really, mostly the storytelling. That was a big thing, because at first my portfolio was just pictures, a bit of sketches that I did, and then the final thing. So it was very cold and sad.
Yeah, I guess it's like, how can someone feel more connected to it from the outside looking in? Because obviously your ideas and your sketches and stuff, like, they make sense to you, or you at least when you look at it, you remember, you remember where that came from. But I guess to an outside person,
they're not in your head.
They're not in your head.
So
they don't always see the full vision. Like they can see kind of what you created, but they can't see where it's come from, type of thing.
So that's something that I really need to work on, and I'm still working on it. And it's very valuable, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're still obviously at the start of your journey. Like, it's the best time for you to have been given the advice, to be honest. What? So were you sending out portfolios just to get
feedbacks? Or if either feedbacks or if they had any internships going on. But it was during COVID, so nobody was really.
But that's I mean, it takes a lot of self-belief in order to sometimes just even do that first step of sending your portfolio to people. Like, do you have a lot of confidence in yourself, or was that like a hurdle for you, or is it just something that you've accepted you're going to have to do if you want to break through in the industry?
Yeah, I feel like it's just I'm craving for experience, really. So I just go boldly, I guess, because you never know. And just, even if maybe they reject you, they probably will have you at the back of their mind in the future, so that's also useful. But we're just trying to get experience anywhere I can get, really.
No, I think that's a great way to put it, craving for experience, because I think at the end of the day, if you don't try and get the experience, you're not going to get it. But you don't seem that scared of rejection, which I think is really good.
Not at all.
I think it's because you're French.
I don't know. It's just, I think my mom taught me to not be afraid of rejection. really, my whole life.
Great.
Because I was a very shy person,
Okay.
so she had to do a lot of work on that. She's a hypnotherapist, so.
Oh right, okay. Does she actually do like hypnotherapy with you?
No, actually never went. I don't know if I should, but I just couldn't be bothered.
I am terrified of hypnosis.
Really?
Like, I'm just this is taking a detour, but I'm just scared that it's like someone's gonna hypnotize me to do something, and then I'm never gonna know if I'm doing it because I'm hypnotized.
Well, it doesn't
or
work
if
like
I'm doing it because I really want to do it. I know it sounds mental, but these are just. I've never even been to a hypnotherapist. It's just the fear that I have.
I don't know. When people think hypnotherapy, they think they're gonna get hypnotized like on TV, but really you're conscious the whole time.
Right. Okay.
It's more like working. You're doing most of the work really in a session. Really, she just guides you through and talks to you to pull out stuff from your own head. Really.
That you've kind of suppressed.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I might try it.
Yeah, it's fine. At least my mom's technique, actually, you're not going to be asleep or anything. Like,
okay.
You're actually going to be willingly putting information.
If I do it with anybody, I will choose your mom. I trust us. But no, that's interesting. Yeah, it's really, shout out your mom for helping you out.
Yeah, she's really into the whole personal development thing, and that's really her thing, to just go for it all the time. And the worst they can say is no, and we're not gonna die. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
And then what she always says is like, you can't be afraid of a human like you, that bleeds like you, that eats like you, that dies like you, that just does everything like you. She just repeats it all over and over again when I was growing up, and now that I'm an adult, it's just
stuck.
It's just stuck in my mind. So I'm just not afraid of rejection, of even afraid of people, really.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Doesn't matter, like, the hierarchy, maybe, of if someone is, like, more senior than me or something, I'm not easily intimidated, I guess. Yeah. Like, I will have respect, of course. They're a senior or something, but I won't be intimidated by them, really.
Yeah, like, you don't feel like you're undeserving of having a conversation. So I think that that's very... I like pick up your mum for raising you to be
Thanks,
like
Mum.
that. No, honestly, because especially like, I don't know, especially as a woman, especially as a young woman, especially as a woman that, you know, a black woman, like, there are a lot of people that unfortunately in your same shoes, they might feel like, you know, they would be easily intimidated, or they do feel, you know, that they can't that they are scared of rejection and they don't want to push themselves forward. So I think that it's amazing that you're accepting that it's not going to be easy. You're not always going to get a yes, but you're not scared to try. And I have a lot of respect for that. Even being someone that's nearly 10 years older than you, like, I think that it's very commendable. So yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats on being you. So you want to start your own brand, or you are in the process of starting your own brand?
Yeah, just looking into it,
Yeah. So what's kind of the inspo for that? Like, what's the inspiration for your own brand as opposed to just being a designer for somebody else? Like, is it because do you feel like there's not do you feel like what you want to create doesn't already exist? I
don't think necessarily this. There's, because I like, I guess, the creative freedom that I will have, since it will be my brand. Maybe because I don't think I'm too good for working for other people.
Okay. You accept that you're better alone.
I kind of like, I mean, I'm already working like a normal job at the bar, and I think that's already too hard for me to work for someone else and to take orders. So I feel like in design, I like to be really free. And I feel like I would be just really happy. Because I do like the business side also. I feel like it's exciting to own a business also in the same way. And just merge the two things out, like designing and business.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm still figuring out where to start, because I also like doing boots and maybe heels also. But for the moment, my whole background and what people know me for is really sneaker. So I don't know if I should please my existing
Your
audience or take the risk to find also a new one, or maybe merge the two.
Just please yourself.
Yeah.
Just whatever will make you happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already proven you can design a sneaker.
But sneakers are my first love too. But then I'm in a boot phase right now, so I don't know. I just love boots so much.
Yeah, we said it's because you work at a bar and you have to
Also,
stand on glass.
It's just, I don't know. Ever since I arrived in fashion school, it's just boots. Also, it's just more people wear boots than sneakers, and I started looking into it, and I was like, oh, it looks good.
Yeah, so do you now get inspiration from the people that you see?
Yeah, I feel like
at school.
I feel like people from my school would be a good customer base also for some reason. It's a lot of artsy people that like experimental stuff, and a lot of them like raves, and I like going to like techno parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if you saw the heel I made.
Yeah.
That's on Instagram. It's very, the whole team was
funky.
Yeah, I was inspired by like a lot of techno and underground parties, and I feel like it's a direction that I kind of like.
What do you like about it?
I don't know. I like the community, I guess, the freedom that people have on the dance floor, the outfits.
Yeah, I love
God.
I love. So actually, when I went to Paris, I met a lot of friends that were just also on exchange, and they basically introduced me to like techno, raving, funky house scene. Because before that, I was strictly like hip hop. Yeah, I like some pop and stuff, but I would mainly just go to concerts and festivals. I wouldn't really go to like raves. But then in Paris as well, huge techno scene. But that's one thing that I really loved about it. It's just how carefree people were, like, and people genuinely just went to enjoy themselves and just to be comfortable. And I can totally kind of resonate with what you're saying.
Yeah, some people go by themselves, and just they can wear anything they want. Some not at all, almost really. But and just like, you could literally go with, I don't know, plastic bag on your head, and nobody will care, you know. And I think that's something that I like a lot about it. It's just such a positive environment, really, kind of.
Yeah, do you feel like that's kind of different to the sneaker community? Do you feel like the sneaker community is not as positive, or do you not experience that?
I think the sneaker community sometimes is really driven by the hype. So sometimes it's hard to know if someone is buying because they really like it or because they're trying to follow a trend.
Yeah.
As with, for example, the other side, the techno raving art school side, everyone has dressed really like how they want. Like, every time I go to the main campus at Central St. Martin, some outfits I'm just like, what? But people are just so comfortable and just so themselves that, I don't know, it's such a good side. And then the sneaker community, it's just, I love sneakers so much. But then I don't know if it's exactly the same freedom. Well. When I see a lot of people that collect sneakers, some of them is just Jordans, for example. Okay, it's like, oh, you really a sneaker collector, or you just collect Jordans?
Yeah,
you know?
Jordan collector.
And I feel like there's so many sneakers out there, but we focus on maybe only the big ones sometimes. Like, there's that new Chinese brand called Leaning, for example, that's really nice and really coming up. And I don't know, I feel there's not that many new sneaker brands or designs.
I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that. Like, I like what I like. Like, I'm very Nike focused.
Yeah, me too, though. I can't lie. I love Nike. I love a good Jordan.
Just because, I like them. I'm used to them. It's very hard now for me to go out and look at other brands and be like, and not compare them to Nike. Like, in the back of my mind, regardless of what you put out, in some way, because Nike have so many silhouettes,
Mm.
and I've worn them for so long, I've loved them for longer than I've worn them.
Mm.
It's like that's just in the back of my mind. Like a New Balance, I'm going to be like, okay, should I just maybe hold off for the night that I want to buy? Because again, there's loads of shoes that I missed out on that now if I want to buy a new shoe, I'm like, oh, that's £200 I could put towards paying resale on something that I missed out on type of thing. But yeah, I definitely need to check out more.
No, me too. Honestly, that's what I'm doing now. I'm checking out more brands. And it's also, I realized when I choose my shoes, for example, I don't always go for like the known silhouettes. For example, that's just the cable now. That's like just a normal.
Yeah, Dunk. Oh, Jordan Low.
Jordan Low,
yeah,
bright yellow. Like absolutely nothing special about them, but yet when I walk on the street, as per my mom analysis, she somehow sees everyone that looks at my shoes for some reason.
Oh, okay.
When I walk in the street, she's like, oh, that group of boys over there, they were looking at your shoes.
Yeah.
And then I look at the group of boys in question. They all have like Yeezys and non-shoes. All of this, they buy all the hype shoes just to then be fascinated by a normal, like...
shoes that they actually wouldn't buy themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something I realized a lot. I remember I went to ComplexCon once and I was wearing some Adidas. It was Adidas collaboration with Slam Jam.
Slam Jam Adidas. What do they bring out?
It wasn't a very known collection, really. I just found it on the Kith website and I was like, oh, interesting.
Okay.
And it wasn't too expensive, so I was like, nice, it's not £600. And I remember I went with those in CompassCon, knowing full well that probably nobody will know what that is, but like the looks of like all the people with like the latest shoes, they were like the eyes don't lie, you know?
100%.
Like you like what you like. You can buy the hype stuff, but you're gonna see a shoe that's not known and that you're probably gonna like, you know?
Yeah, and it goes back to what you were saying in terms of you don't know, like if people, I think people can't even trust their own opinions to a certain degree. It's just like we are being so heavily influenced by marketing subconsciously and consciously that it's like, especially when you're in the sneaker world, or if you might be, you know, someone that's popular on Instagram, it's like you do get forced to keep up with the hype and you do get forced to keep up with what's popular, because unfortunately if you don't, you know, sometimes that's people's jobs to be a sneaker content creator or whatever you're doing online. So yeah, I think people do then start to be forced to make purchases that they otherwise might not, because they know that, for example, if they had bought the pair that you bought, although like they're gonna break their neck to look at it when you're at ComplexCon and they do really like it, if they posted it online,
nobody will know.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not going to get the you know, the viral reposts. It's just going to be for the niche people that actually just are just liking shoes or crepes or sneakers or whatever you call them, for the fact that they, you know, are visually pleasing and that they would wear them. But so what female designers kind of do you look up to? Are you inspired by?
So I like Helen Kirkham a lot, because just what she does is just so cool and so relevant with the whole sustainability thing, and just being able to make a pair of shoe out of all the scraps. I found it really impressive.
So cool. And every detail, like on the pair and on the box, and
it's just the details and just the work and the work and the craft that has to go into this. Now that I know how to make shoes, I realize how complicated that must be.
I can imagine.
Like I was trying to make a single like unified pattern for a heel, so imagine making a pattern out of little scraps. I found it mind-blowing.
And like being able to trace back every like piece that's on it.
Yeah, and just like
laying
them
out. Track. I'm like, oh, I'll just start making them up. So that came from this.
Honestly, and
yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah, so I really like Helen Kirkham. There's Jennifer. Oh, she used to work for Nike. She did a lot of Nike silhouettes and Jordans. Oh, she has a YouTube channel. I was looking at her YouTube channel last time.
I know who you're talking about. Her
Yeah.
name is escaping me, but
Me too. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking of Jennifer Bills, which is an actress,
yeah.
actually. I know her name is Jennifer something similar to Bills, but it's not Jennifer Bills. I don't know. But yeah, there's her, and then
Yeah, I'll put it on screen.
yeah,
Yeah, she's really cool.
she's yeah.
Do you watch a lot of her YouTube stuff to get inspired?
I used there was a period I used to watch a lot because she would like tell like the components and stuff, and I thought it was
like a lot of the process.
yeah, I thought that was really interesting when I was still learning about like how shoes are made and the materials, and I guess the making process. Yeah, very very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She's not exclusively a footwear designer, but I like what Shito's Abe from Sakai does.
Mm-hmm.
I like what she did with the Nike Vapor Waffle. I don't know, just love those shoes so much. I just like the details and just the silhouette, really.
Yeah.
I think she does her shoe collaborations never really disappoint.
Ambush? You?
I do like Yoon Ambush. I do like the Converse she made. I wish I could have bought those one day, but yeah.
So high.
Oh.
Well, actually, now you're into boots. It makes sense.
Yeah, and they're pretty high. They're pretty booty. Yeah. But no, I do like Yoon Ambush. I do like the jewelry she does also.
I love the jewelry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just a bit out of my price range. But yeah, it's she's really cool.
She is really cool. Who else do we have?
I feel like you'll know way more than I know.
Who else do I look at? Oh god, I can't think of it on the top of my head. Charlotte Hill. I'm not sure. She works for New Balance. I'm
thinking of somebody.
I know her name is Charlotte.
Oh, I'm thinking of a Beth that I know works with. Oh no,
Beth.
I know a Beth that does some work at New Balance. But also her name might not be Beth, and I might be making that up. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But there are a lot.
There's a lot.
Which is good to know.
There's more and more coming, so that's nice.
What do you think that the industry can do in order to provide like more opportunities for females that want to be footwear designers? Like, is there anything that you wish existed for you to do? Although I know that you said you've had quite a positive experience in terms of the opportunities and stuff. So if you feel like that the industry is doing enough, you can feel free to say that also.
No, I think first of all, at the base, there should be more exposure of sneaker design being a career opportunity. Because I meet a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I love shoes, but I didn't even know that was really a career thing. They just associate with fashion straight away. Yeah. So I think a good start first of all, show that it's an option of workplace.
Yeah, like promoting it more.
And yeah, I guess sneakers are still seen as a really male hobby, like stuff men are into. So really showing that women love sneaker too, and we like sneakers that are not pink and purple. First of all, so definitely do better on women's silhouettes. More, I would say more women's silhouettes. But then me personally, I like to do everything unisex. Really, I don't know. I just sort of blending the two.
Yeah, is that going to be something that you kind of keep at the forefront of your mind when you design your own?
I think that's going to be like the point of my brand, because like my female friends that wear sneakers that also men wear anything. A lot of male friends that wear heels. So I just want, wherever I make heel boots, sneakers in my brand, I just feel like anyone who wants it can have it. I don't want it to be marketed to just one demographic, really. No, and I feel like it's not done too much yet. And I know it's going to be a bit complicated because scientifically
the weight, like the shape
of the foot, we don't have the same shape.
Yeah.
So the shoes are not actually made the same. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that.
Yeah.
But ideally, I would like everyone to feel comfortable into buying any silhouette.
Because I'm interested to know if there's actually a purely, like, if it's possible to make a purely unisex shoe. Because it's like, you know,
maybe
atomically we
are different. Yeah. Maybe as the design be unisex and then have a size run made in a women's shape and maybe another one with a men's shape.
Yeah.
Because I know all my male friends like they like to wear heels, but it's painful for them because the feet are too wide.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe a remedy for that. Maybe a wider, the bigger sizes maybe would be a bit wider and the smaller size would be a bit narrower. Yeah. But yeah, plenty of time to think of this. I'm trying to finish my year first and then the whole vacation I'm just gonna do that.
That's what you're doing over the summer break.
Yeah. This is gonna be my summer project.
Awesome.
Just create the business plans, the IDs. Yeah.
Yeah. How many more years of school do you have? Is it just one?
No,
Or
I
is
have
it 3?
like 2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to. No, actually, it's a lie. I didn't want to do placement year. That's why I didn't do it. I didn't apply. Like at first, I applied to have like the option of placement year, but then it's in 2 years, and I feel like
by then you want to have done like made your own thing.
I don't know if by 2 years I already maybe because I'm still open to work for other people at the same time. Maybe I would have an internship already.
Okay.
Or something. But I feel like in 2 years, if I launch my brand this year, I will be too focused on it anyway. So, yeah, I think the priority right now is just creating my brand. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens in 2 years. But anyway, it's too late. The application was Friday, so...
Your decisions are made for you.
Either it'll be fine, either I'll cry.
It will be fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've already designed your own shoe, so it can only go up from here.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, I have faith. It's... always keep positive anyway, because there's no point being negative. It's just exhausting, mentally and physically. Like, it actually is exhausting and stressful, so... and it doesn't change the outcome, so what's the point of being stressed? It's still gonna come anyway.
After this podcast, I'm like, I need hypnotherapy from your mum because I want to be you. The positivity, I love it. Yeah. But no, you're so right. Like, to just any kind of negativity or any kind of self-doubt, like it's just so draining, and it's like the world is gonna keep spinning regardless. If I get up and get my shit together, like I might as well just.
It doesn't
just
change
try and
anything.
do what I want to do.
Yeah, it's like it's not going to change your circumstance, really.
Yeah,
it's like when you're unhappy about something, you can just either choose to sit and complain and not change anything, or change something. And sometimes it is very tempting to just sit down and complain because it's less exhausting.
Yeah,
and takes less, I guess, effort than actually getting up and changing something. Yeah. Like I could just sit back and enjoy my 2 more years of uni and be like, I'm in uni, I'm focusing on uni.
Yeah.
And it is like, I don't know where to start, for example, to create my brand. It's like something that could be scary, but then most of the point of being scared is not going to change anything again. So,
and I guess you have all these people that you look up to, and it's like they have at some point in their life been through the exact same thing.
If they made it one of me, I mean,
100%.
So many people create clothing brands. It can't be that hard.
It's easy.
I mean, it must be easy. Go on.
Did you get any words of wisdom from Clint when you were doing it? Because he's somebody that I kind of, I mean, I know he's obviously not a woman, but I find him very inspiring. Like he started his own shoe brand, like at a time where a lot of people were probably discouraged from doing that, and he's been very successful. He has his upcoming collab with Patter. I actually might have released by the time this goes live. But yeah, he's someone that I find inspiring. So I'm just wondering if he kind of gave you any guidance.
Well, that actually is my biggest advice was to maybe create my own brand. I remember he used to tell me like that this opportunity of inspired change is to give me, I guess, a bit of a platform and then for me to go from there. And at first I was like, yeah, I think I just want to do uni, work for someone first, and then save to create my brand. And now I just thought about it and I'm like, why not? Why not just do it now? Really? And like, at least if it goes slowly, I have an excuse to be like, well, I'm in uni. I'm still young.
Yeah, guys, I wasn't even trying.
Okay. It was just an experiment. Oh, no, I'm kidding. But sorry. But, no, why not? Why not now? I mean, life is short. It's not gonna hurt anything. And yeah, that's something that was on the back of my mind when he told me this. Because at first I was like, I thought it was scary. I was like, there's no way. But now I'm like, yeah, actually, maybe I should. Because I think if I want to be a big figure in the industry also, usually it helps if you have your own brand. If you think, I don't know, Virgil Abloh, for example, he started with his own brand and then went all the way to Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
May you rest in peace. But I think it's something that's definitely in the works for me, because I would love to work also for a luxury brand, do some luxury shoes, and I think it would help. I think it would be like a fast track, I guess, to have your own brand instead of going slowly up the thing. If you have your own brand, you can then, and it's successful, they can directly, do you want to be the creative director directly?
Yeah,
I think,
true.
Like, instead of
trying to make you prove what you can do, you've
and
already
then
shown that you can do it.
In the workplace, less time in the workplace, because I know, the fashion world sometimes it's it could be a bit toxic and look competitive, and who knows, if I go that way, that's where I'm gonna have a lot of more rough experiences with hierarchy and I guess opportunities and maybe being overlooked as
and probably being a woman, being a black woman
also. So I think maybe it also could be a sort of protection, I guess, almost, to have my own brand, to be like, look, that's what I do by myself. Just give me the job now.
This is what I do. Pay me, thank you.
Like, what else you want to see?
Yeah, literally. It's true, because it's kind of like your portfolio, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So, good living proof that you're capable of managing something. Yeah,
for sure. Did your track and field experience kind of help you to fall in love with sneakers? Because obviously you would have been running trainers.
To be fair, when I started track and field, that's when I started being mindful of shoes and trainers in general, because I needed to pick my shoes to practice, and I always
for performance.
For performance, and also I like to be flashy. When I was, my fashion sense wasn't the best when I was, like, I remember when I was 12, which is when I started track and field, I had like bright orange Nike shoes, but like bright orange, that I would wear with my those track leggings. It was like blue, and I had like a fluorescent yellow top. It was chaotic, but I was happy.
And that's all that matters.
That's all matters. And I won a lot of medals, so nobody could nobody could make fun of me, because I would smoke them on the track anyway.
Go on.
So yeah, that's when I started being more mindful of shoes, because then when you practice, your shoe wears off, so you have to buy more shoes. And yeah, I guess that's why I became shoe conscious, and like actually caring more about brands, maybe because of performance. Like, I started being, Nike's a sport brand, there's Adidas, there's this, and I didn't know about compositions yet, but like I had like a little knowledge, like the cushioning, the fit and everything, if it was heavy, light. So I think that's a small start. Yeah, really.
Because I think that, again, with the whole hype and the new sneaker culture, I think a lot of us forget that a lot of trainers are made to serve a purpose. They are made for performance. Like when I used to work at Foot Locker, it was funny because so a lot of people used to get Roshi runs, like Roshis, for running shoes, but they're actually a yoga shoe. Like they're the worst shoe to run
they're
in.
not running shoes. Oh my god!
So like people used to come in and I used to be like, no, like do not buy it. Like you're gonna go turn over on your ankle, and I'm not.
That's because they were being popular at one point. No,
they were so popular, but it was like they were being marketed for the wrong purposes, just by the way that people were wearing them, and and it was just like no, like
aren't they like really flat? Like they really
it's like they don't really have a grip.
Oh god!
Like they were, you had kind of like a wedge sole, but very rounded and soft. And again, it was a yoga shoe. Like even just from saying that it's a yoga shoe, and people wanted it to run outside. It's like no, they're not going.
You don't run in yoga.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'm trying to think. Have we covered everything?
I think we covered. Yeah.
What about the designs that didn't come out with Clints? Because you said you submitted 3.
Oh yeah.
So you did the Cozy Day one.
Yeah.
So what was the concept of the other 2? Like was it a similar concept in just different colors?
One was inspired by the BLM movement because it was really big at the time. And I mean, it sounds like I'm gonna say casually again, but at that time actually I was in Chicago with my brother.
Okay.
So I got stuck during COVID in Chicago with my brother.
Oh, poor you.
I know.
I mean, I shouldn't say that because a lot was going on at the time, but yeah.
Basically, I went on a school vacation, and then COVID hit, and my school was online. So I was like, you know what? I hate Paris. I'm gonna stay here. And my brother was like, okay. And so that was when I did the Clints designs. I was actually still in Chicago. And a few days prior, I went to the big BLM march there. It was my first ever protest, actually. And so I think at that time, I was also inspired by that for one of the designs. And then the third design was completely random. I could not think of any inspiration, but then
that was just one of those things where it was just solely what you saw in your head. Okay.
Really, yeah. No, the other one.
Do you want to fake a story?
Honestly,
it was really deep. And it was like my mum's hypnosis. And no. Honestly, what was the colorway?
So the one that has like absolutely no thought behind its creation is like kind of pale green and white.
Yeah. If you send me the pictures,
I will send you pictures for sure
in the video.
And then the BLM one was black, a bit of yellow, and a bit of beige, I think, but mostly black. And it was like the insole had like I forgot his name, the track star that put the fist up during with the black glove.
Yeah.
So there was like a drawing outline of him on the sole, and then there was I remember a Black Panther little logo like around here. Yeah, but the Cozy Days were definitely the best ones. The one I put the most time into, and yeah.
What was it like being in the protest at that time? Was it being your first protest?
It was impressive, and I went by myself actually, which I don't know how my mom forgave me for that, because my mom hates crowds and she never wants me to be.
Yeah, she probably would have been
crowds. So to know that was at one point almost at the front line with the police, she would have freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so many people. It's crazy.
Did you get kind of like a like, I can imagine it being, obviously it was very sad, but I can imagine that unity being kind of powerful. I
was really surprised.
Like, did that inspire you?
It was extremely diverse. Like when you go see on yourself, I was like, why is there so many white people? Do they actually, that much of them care actually? And like, because it's the US, there was a lot of Latinos also, and just like, there wasn't one I can't say there was even like a big overly majority of black people. I think it was actually really nicely even
segregated.
into
Well, not segregated, but like diverse.
Yeah, like a good percentage, almost even of everyone, and I was like really, really impressed. Gave you a lot of hope, also. Yeah, so it was nice. We just walked around downtown. Went to the Trump Tower because Trump was still president at that time.
Yeah.
And he has a big tower in Chicago. The police, of course, defended it. Like,
of course,
they just knew that we were going to go for the Trump Tower. So they were like with their horses and they were protecting around the building with their like bats and stuff. And yeah, so it was really peaceful during the day.
Yeah, because it's somewhat insulting to think that they might, as obviously if the crowd's going to go to the Trump Tower, but it's not, doesn't mean that there's something going to happen there. Like,
no, I remember
it's a peaceful protest.
Yeah, and I remember there was one guy that tried to break the sign with his skateboard, and everyone was like, "No, don't do it, So
yeah, because like peaceful. It's already, there's a bad negative connotation on these things. It's like, don't try and.
But yeah, the problem is when it starts to come nightfall, that's when shit kind of gets crazy. I remember when it was around 6, and I went on the crowd started pushing the police somewhere. I don't know where we were at this point. It was not Trump Tower anymore. And there was starting to be a bit of movement, and there was this news van that got flipped over. And I was like, a whole video of a van being flipped over. And at this point, it's not really the protesters anymore. It's people that obviously they already came. They were like in outfit for a riot. Like they were here to cause mischief.
Yeah, they went there to protest.
That's where like the angry people came around night. And there were some white guys, black guys. Again, that crowd also was quite diverse.
Yeah.
So, but it is, in the whole, a minority. It was like the big majority of the protest, the whole time of the protest was extremely peaceful. It's just then when it hit 6 p.m. and I saw the van getting turned over, I was like, I'm going home. I'm not staying here. And then, that's when I came back and started seeing stores getting smashed. The Versace getting looted. Yeah. And I could see from my window at night it's like a pharmacy, but pharmacies in the US, they're like grocery stores almost. You have everything in them. I could see from the balcony of my brother people just breaking in and stealing shit. I was like, oh, lovely. And then the
probably
police
sees one that you saw in the morning, recognize them, like, oh, there's Liam.
It was too far. I just saw like little people all dressed in black just running into the Wolves Green, and then the police, like a big like brigade of police coming and chasing them out. And
obviously, sadly, it's like that's what the media would focus on.
Of course, they would focus on this.
Small people that
they would never focus.
Obviously, but I mean, not rightfully so for people to loot and stuff like that. But I just mean, obviously, a lot of people were very angry. Like
it's material also. Like, it's material. Nobody
does it warrant people being more angry at the fact that people are getting looted or that somebody lost their life? Like, it's not really comparable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Wolves Green. I don't know, what did they steal? A Snapple? Some Cheetos?
But yeah, like even my shoe, like the revolt on the back, like because we designed shoes at the same time, to be fair. This was heavily inspired by the BLM protests that were happening at the time. So I can imagine, like, especially being in America, and just, I think that we can get caught up in a lot of the sadness of the world. Like, we think that it's a lot. I mean, for myself at least, like, humanity sometimes feels like people are losing it. But then when it comes to stuff like that, it's unfortunate that it takes something so so extreme in order to unite people. But when people are united, and it does restore my faith in humanity. Like, it does show that the majority of people are not hateful. Like, they do not have hate in their heart. It's just, unfortunately, the people that get to make decisions and the people that are in power, they're the ones that are, they do have that racism, and they do have that prejudice, and it's just like, we just have to work on getting the right people in those positions.
And also, because social media, we, like, when you first go on a story, it's called through the feed, you know, you don't have a filter to what you're gonna see. So like you and oh god, no, that's a complicated word. I can't pronounce that. You
We're exposed to a lot of negativity.
Yeah, without
trying to be.
Without it be consensual. Like you have no escape.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to social media, you're bound to find something that's going to be negative at one point. And if you were like the trolls and you'd see tweeters and stuff like that, or if you look at the news, especially American news, is so negative. Like if you think about it, if you base your view only on news, the world is miserable, really.
100%.
But if you go actually meet people, you like all the time I'm like surprised, oh, those people are nice. Oh,
yeah, like there's actually really good people in the world.
These really are. It's just, it's always the bad ones are the most
like they're the loudest.
They're the loudest, yeah.
100%.
Like Trump says, the silent majority. When he lost the election, they're like, yeah, we're the silent majority, don't worry.
Yeah. Good old Trump. Cool. Would you have, well, I can preempt what your advice would be, but for someone getting into what you're doing, and maybe someone that does get more discouraged by the negativity and stuff of the industry, what would your advice be to them? Like, so if you know, say if a 15-year-old girl or a 16-year-old girl is listening to this and she's like, you know, I would like to design shoes, what would your advice be?
Oh, just go for it. Just do like me. Search as much as you can on the internet. The internet can be your best friend, really. You can learn anything on it. YouTube, anything you feel like you need to learn, just learn it and then just shoot your shot, really. It's like basketball. Just try. You'll get in eventually. And so, yeah. No, there's absolutely nothing to lose. Especially when we're that young. It's not like we have big stakes, you know? Like, I'm still in school. Like, that's like quite a blanket, you know? Like, I could just focus on my school and that's it. But, like, because of this, it doesn't hurt for me to try and shoot higher at the same time. Yeah. Because I have, like, a safety net or something. It's not like I'm 30 and desperately looking for a job or something and starting to give up because I feel like it's not working out.
Yeah, you don't have like, as many like responsibilities or financial commitments.
Yeah, so it's still like I call it, it's still like a adult trial period because I'm not 21 yet. I like to say that between 18 and 21 you like have a free trial. So that's when you tipping your toe a bit and you're like, oh, maybe I want to go back to childhood. And you have no choice, but you still have, like, my mom still help, my family still help a bit. So it's nice to progressively become more and more independent. So I think it gives you a lot of time and space to really just
trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. Trial and error. Like, I think we should try everything. Even if then the next day you feel like you like something else now and you're not into what you thought you wanted to do carrying, just change, you know. Still time. There's still time for everything. It's like now I just discovered that I really like DJing, so now I'm putting some time into this. Yeah. So why not? Yeah.
Sick. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I do genuinely think that a lot of people will be very inspired by your positivity. Like, even myself, like, it's so refreshing to hear someone, especially so young in your trial period of life, to just really be like, you know what, like, whatever, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, I'm just gonna try. But yeah, it's amazing. I look forward to seeing what you do create. I'm sure it's going to be incredible. Do you want to let the people at home know where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at g.r.mck. That's my main Instagram, where I will do an effort to post more, actually, because I'm not posting that much. But
yeah,
it's just mainly on my shoe designs and yeah, all of this. I mostly post on stories. I'm very active on my stories, where doesn't post updates of projects or
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I will make an effort to post more about the finished products and stuff.
Maybe tell more of the story.
And just a bit maybe more about myself also. And one, for example, when I do a podcast or something, be like, make a post, hey, you can see me here or something like that, because I think it's important to interact with people. I just love interacting with people. I've some requests sometimes of people even older than me that ask me how to get into it, and I don't know everything, so sometimes I like to, there where I'm 19, like I just got here.
I just arrived on the earth.
Like, I'm still on my free trial.
No, but, man, it's you're huge, but
I still love, I putting the time to say what I know, just share what I know, because I don't understand why people wouldn't want to share tips or what they know. It makes no sense to me. So I always guide people to I'll send them links of YouTube videos that I watch personally, or I remember there was one guy, I literally sent him the PDF versions for free of the books on how to make shoes and stuff, because I feel like
not nice. A lot of people are really willing to help, but it's really cool that
I don't know, I feel like I like helping people because my mom again, she tells me, she's like, treat people the way you want it to be treated, or do stuff that you like.
That you wish
someone did it for you also. So 100%. That's what I do. Every time I'm like, I would love someone to do this to me. So I'm like, I'll give this person advice. Pay it forward, exactly.
Oh, amazing. Well, I look forward to, like I said, seeing all the things that you do. Yes, guys, make sure you do check out her Instagram and her stories.
Feel free to message also. I'm quite active. I respond a lot. So if anyone has questions.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Oh, good.
No. I think. All good. All right, cool. Well, guys, that has been Gloria Rose. Remember the name. I'm sure you will be hearing it a lot in the future, especially in the sneaker industry. I've been Sandy. This has been the Herstory Sneakers podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe if you enjoy this episode, and I look forward to catching you in the next one. Bye, guys.